Hey there, Starcraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of Starcraft Brood War Remastered, the Carbot Skin Edition. Okay, so it says cartooned, but as far as I'm concerned, it is the Carbot Edition. Top right-hand corner is the purple Protoss player hailing from China. It is Legend. And in the bottom, left-hand corner is the white Terran player. His name is Flash. This is the Flash you know and love. This is from the 2010 WCG finals? Finals or third place? Can't remember. Something around there. And yes, I did cast this game on the channel 2 years ago. This may sound familiar to you, but it was on the very old Brood War client, not even remastered. And now we're doing it in the Carbot skin, which... this is the second time we've done this. I don't know what's happening anymore. So Legends from China, really fantastic Protoss player, honestly. I mean, to make it to this, this level of Starcraft Brood War in 2010... just a fantastic player overall. Here is APM is over 500 at the stage, which is insane. Look, the APM has even been reskinned by Carbot. How crazy is that? I submit extremely crazy. Alright, so PvT action here in a matchup which has been described more than once as a matchup which benefits Protoss. Unless the Terran is Flash, in which case it flips right on its head. That's what I've heard, and that's what I've seen, honestly. A lot of PvTs come down to the Protoss having to work their butts off. And they can win quite nicely. But then if Flash is involved, it's bad. Sometimes you can catch him off guard with carriers. We've seen that done. But other than that, I don't know, man. He has this way of sneakily walking an entire siege take army across the map to your front door and just crushing you into the ground. So let's avoid that happening here today, Legend, if you're into that. I love the warping in animation for the Carbot skin too. It looks so good. Simulator comes in, gateway, anything produced? Nah, we're just gonna go straight for the cybernetics core. Don't need zealots. Zealots are not that great without speed at this stage of the game. I love the little jetpack that the SCVs have on their backs. Probe coming on down to see what's what. Cross spawn scouting too. How on earth does he know? How does he know where Flash is? Look, graphical mix-up is even here too, which it's just what it is, man. So Probe shows up, says, "Aha, a factory. I am shocked by this information." You never see a Terran player go 2 barracks versus Protoss, because Bio's just not that good against the Protoss units in any stretch of the imagination here. So Probe trying to harass a little bit. There's 400 APM for a Legend. Might as well use it for something, he supposes. Going for Singularity Charge on your purple donut? No? Yes! Alright, Singularity Charge now coming up. And a Dragoon on the way. So this is not a 1-Rax expand out of Flash. Again, this is 2010. I love the Marine too. Look at him run with his short little legs. Hoof, 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 hoof. His head is bouncing everywhere because it's 4 times as big as his body is. The proportions are messed up, man, but I guess that's what makes it cute. Look at them camouflaged in this grass too. I bet they feel pretty sneaky. Pretty sneaky dudes, huh? Dragoon hanging out here on the ramp, just chilling, having a good time, yeah. Not sending the Dragoons over, though. Recognizing there's not going to be a bunker to kill. So it seems like the meta back in 2010 was a little bit different than it is today. We don't see the 1-Rax expand into the bunker that the Dragoons try to shut down with Singularity Charge. We don't see the Protoss going 1 gate into an expansion into Singularity Charge either. Just 1 base versus 1 base here. And that just shows, again, how the meta changes. We see way more Marines without any support of a bunker here either, running on out to try to find that probe. Probe is faster than all 4 of them. If they had stim, they could probably catch up, but as it stands, they're just bumbling and tumbling guys that are not fast enough to catch that dude. They might actually get some shots off on this Dragoon, though, if the Dragoon is not careful in trying to kill that SCV. Yeah, Dragoon is very safe heading on back home. Expansion on the way here from Legend, and I don't see any sign of an expansion from Flash yet. This SCV maybe, or this one maybe. He's got the resources for it, so there we go. Command Center now coming up with the natural base. It is behind this expansion of Legends, but that's not going to be enough to determine the game. I was talking to Somicron on the other day, actually, streaming out at twitch.tv/Falcon Paladin. Somicron and I do a podcast. By the way, we talk quite a bit, it turns out, but it's Falcon Paladin Hour. Search Falcon Paladin on your podcast app. And then we talk on the stream as well over on Twitch. Actually playing the Starcraft 1 Carbot Remastered campaign out there on Sundays. So if you want to see some more Carbot stuff, twitch.tv, man, it's where it's at. Slash Falcon Paladin. Doesn't cost you anything to follow me there. Tank and Vulture shut that down. Anyway, he was saying there is a competition going on at the University of Melbourne in Australia where basically they're doing this thing with Starcraft where they show a team of people the first 10 minutes of a match. And then they have 5 days to get as specific as they can in predicting what happens from that point to the end of the match. And I thought that was insane. And then they're judged based on how well they do compared to other teams, which I thought was a fun idea. I'd be interested in giving that a try, but I'd get bored, I think, after a certain point of getting really specific about stuff. It's like, and then SCV will scout the 6 o'clock position while 2 Marines will be made in the barracks, and the upgrade for +1/+1 will be going on at the engineering bays. And then in the next 5 seconds, it seems like a lot. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more weirded out I am. Observatory on the way here, robotics facility done, obviously, from Legend. And meanwhile, just meching it, man. Is there any question about what Flash is up to here? I don't think there is. He's got tanks. He's working on siege for those guys. Vultures cruising around with their cool little goggles and their headbands. And it's not going to... Oh, Spider Mine is done, though. Spider Mine... Oh, nice snipe there, actually. Well controlled there by Legend. Holy smokes. Fantastic play by him overall. 55 to 51 overall supply here at the 6.5 minute mark. That one might have gotten off. Dragoon is fairly injured here, but the Vulture's been stabbing at him too, so I don't know. Another pylon up, and a third base going to be on the way here from Legend. This is honestly how you beat a Terran player, is you out-macro them. You expand a whole ton. We've seen players take down Flash using this strategy recently. Maybe not recently, but one of the PVTs I've cast of Flashes in the recent months and weeks. The Protoss player went super greedy, and you can here. Look, Flash is not going to move out with an army because he doesn't have one yet. He's got 4 tanks. So you can expand and maybe even expand again as we kind of see a pylon coming up here at the north. Well, we do see a pylon. It's not an expansion, but it seems like Legend is thinking about taking that base sooner rather than later. And then just having 4 bases to 2 bases, and then having 6 bases to 3 bases, and then, you know, just expanding your face off so you can afford to lose some Dragoons in these engagements, because you're going to lose Dragoons in these engagements of these tanks. Your only hope is to outproduce, honestly. Observer comes in, sees the Marines, sees the Vultures, sees the tanks. It's time to push on out here. Dragoons. Oh, nicely done, though. 3 tanks down. Keep that tank count low. That is another thing you can do if you are a Protoss player, is keep that tank count below 17. You're going to have a good time. Oh, a little bit too eager, that Dragoon, wandering on in. Dying to a Spider Mine for no reason. Observer needs to stay alive because there are Spider Mines here. Look at him marching in as we go. Tanks are in siege mode. He needs to focus the tanks. 1 tank down, and another tank is going to fall here before all is said and done. And that's it. He just wanted to keep the tank count low. His Dragoons can handle everything else. Can handle Vultures all the livelong day, but keeping the tank count to 0 is massively important right now for Legend. That barracks taking some shots. Another tank comes out. The Vultures shoving away these Dragoons too a little bit. Meanwhile, Stargate coming up back in Protossville. And by that I mean, yes, right here. I like that animation a lot. It's just bouncy. Dun, 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 dun. Vulture, no scouting, no harassment for you. Vultures not allowed in this. It's a girls not allowed scenario. 82 to 59 supply. Legend is up, guys. He is up. He is looking strong. He is looking bold. He wiped out Flash's entire tank count just a minute ago. That is the kind of thing that can win you a match against Flash. If you can wipe out his entire tank count from like 6 to 0, oh yeah, that's what you need to be doing here. Spider Mines are so happy, but also getting destroyed. Dying happy, I suppose. 2 tanks here, man. I don't know. It looks like it's enough, according to Legend. But again, third base happily running. No third from Flash. He does not feel safe enough to move out right now. The Vultures maybe going to try to seed this ramp with Spider Mines. Can't believe that. Oh, I was going to say, can't believe that Vulture got away. He did not get away, as it turns out. Where's your Observer? Stay with him, guy. Stay with him, little Bumblebee Observer. So cute. What was that? Something just finished or got canceled. Cannon. Yep, cannon. Man, stuff looks weird. And that's a Corsair, by the way, up in the top left in the production tab. That's a Corsair, Citadel of Adun. Fleet Beacon coming in, so maybe there is a carrier transition here. We'll see if Flash recognizes it in time. Because it sure seems like Legend's hoping that Flash will be obsessed with replacing his tank count. And he won't notice there are carriers until it's too late. So watch that production tab with me. We'll see if we get any Goliaths or not. Yeah, man, he's even hiding them where scans won't reveal it unless obviously it's scanned down here, but usually Terran players won't do that. So Fleet Beacon done. I don't think we've seen carriers on the channel yet in this skin. And I can't imagine why we wouldn't at this stage, despite the fact... What the? Disruption Web is on the way from Legend. Holy crap. He's getting a Fleet Beacon for Disruption Web? You guys, this is incredible stuff. We've had people ask for this before in PPTs. Why don't you get Disruption Web versus a meching Terran player? Maybe Legend will show us why not. Or maybe he'll show us why you do, and you should. People should be more like Legend. Yeah, man, that's what that is. Disruption Web being researched. This is not carriers at all. And I should have known there'd be more than one Stargate if it was carriers, because carriers take approximately 47 years to build. And if you only have one Stargate, it takes you a while to get up to like the 6 you want. At least with 2, it cuts the time in half. Look, northern base taken out by Legend. Left side is taken by Flash. Happily set up there, though. Minimal defense, honestly, though. 2 tanks? 2 tanks defending this base. I kind of feel like if Legend knew what he was dealing with, he could take that. Ugh. Clearing out spider mines. Spider mines being planted. It's a circle of life here on Fighting Spirit. Vultures do find this 12 o'clock position, and they might be able... Ooh, there's a cannon coming up now, though. The Vultures trying to snipe it down. And look, there are enough Vultures to do it. That's pretty good, and enough to bully this Dragoon, too. I gotta take care of that cannon at the same time. Yeah, that's what we're talking about there. That was some pretty good Vulture run by Flash. For sure. Argus Jewels coming in, plus 50 Corsair energy, because they need the energy to throw down Disruption Webs. Alright, man, this is going to be interesting. I do not remember Disruption Web being a big part of this game when I cast it back in 2017, but hey, again, I have 3 brain cells because I've got 3 kids. And as a result, I don't remember a lot of stuff. You may notice that. Yeah, I just don't recall a game in which Disruption Web is used successfully, especially not against Flash. Hey, there's a Zealot out. Hey, man, get the Vultures. Roar. He's trying to fight against them. The cannon getting some shots off here, though. And the Vultures are getting whittled down. I'm not sure this was a good decision to come in here. Some probes are going to go down now. That's the trade. All the Vultures die in exchange for a couple probes, which I think Legend is okay with. He's up 161 to 130 total supply. Where are we? Where is the Corsair group? Are they hiding? I wonder if they're hiding. Because if Flash saw them, he'd be like, wait a second. Why are there 8 Corsair out? Well, it's a long story. No, but seriously, where are his Corsairs if he's going to do this thing? Is he not even making the... Oh, here they are. Okay, so they're on the right side. They're hiding. There's 6 of them. And their energy levels are now 250 max. Some of them are already at 200, so now they're starting to count up into that 250 range. 171 to 151 supply in favor of Legend Dragoons. Marching down. Oh, probe transfer. Wrong time here, Legend. Don't do that. Gosh, a bunch of probes died there for effectively nothing. Spider mines all over the place. A Flash speciality. There's just spider mines everywhere. Observer, come home. Come help us clean these ones out. The Vultures are just being really active. And this is how you play. This is how you play versus Protoss if you're Terran. Is to be active with the Vultures. You defend with the tanks until you have a disgusting tank count, and then you push out. The Vultures coming up to snipe down more probes at this 12 o'clock position. Cannon count kind of insane, though. There are 4 cannons here, and every Vulture dies. Oh, but they were waiting for them to come out this way? Oh, that's brutal. That is brutal from Flash. Look at this. Both sides covered. There are no exits for you. And sure, a bunch of Vultures are going to die. In fact, maybe all of them again. Nope, 2 of them managed to escape, which is nice. Dragoon's clearing out the spider minefield up this way. Alright, I think it might be time to give this a try, Legend. Ground armor coming in. Might be waiting for that upgrade. I don't know. Man, you gotta be careful clearing out those spider mines, dude. Without detection, you're gonna catch a spider mine to the face sooner rather than later. Flash is caught up, guys. 173 to 174. He does scan his bottom right-hand base. That Legend is trying to sneak up here, but here come the vultures to try to deal with it again. Man, the vulture play. It's pretty much just been vulture play from Flash so far in this game. And he's succeeding pretty darn effectively with it. Yeah, there's enough vultures here to take down that Dragoon. They got +2 attack. The Dragoons, I don't know. Can they take down a Nexus? Given enough time, yes. But it does take them a lot of time to do it. Top left-hand vultures get wiped out. Spider minefield here. Where's our tank count? Here's the tank count. This is what I'm talking about from Flash. Yeah, I mean, again, you give them enough time, they will wipe out your Nexus, and they were given enough time. Nicely done. Pylons out there, too. Both players are effectively maxed out. Got charge, well, speed lots with 1-1. The tanks and science vessels are here, too. Storm on the way. It's trying to engage on in from all directions. Disruption web gonna go down. There it is. Disruption web on the tanks. Zealots coming on. Dragoons coming in from the right side here. Is there enough to actually take down these tanks? More disruption web getting laid down. The Corsair's actually pretty good against the science vessels too. Wiping out every single one of those. Tanks getting wiped out. Wow, Dragoons taking some serious hits there too from the south, however, and it was not enough. As it turns out, 145 to 128 supply. Legend still has a lead right now. As Flash tries to expand up this left side, Dragoons want nothing doing there. They're going to try to shut that sucker down. Where are the Corsairs? A bit of a storm whiff, or if there was something there, it got killed already. So Command Center is on fire. Maybe one more volley to make sure it doesn't get saved. But then you're kind of trapped in here, man. You're kind of trapped in the top left-hand corner with your Dragoons. Going out is going to be difficult. I guess you can go up this way to your 12 o'clock position if and you want. But he's producing 6 Zealots at a time. 2 Dragoons at a time, and he's getting an Arbiter. Yeah, man, there are just too many tanks. Too many tanks there to disruption web all of them. That southern section of tanks really caused some problems for Legends units. This command center should be repaired at some point. I don't actually know if it will, though. More Corsairs in production, and command center still burning down, but I think Flash should pay attention to it sooner rather than later. Tanks setting up on the low ground to fire upon... Whoa! Fire upon those cannons. Right side attack coming in. Some High Templar in the mix. Yeah, Goliath is going to go down. Storm on those tanks to whittle them down. Oh, nope, not going to be enough, as it turns out. +2 tanks, man. Too much. You've whittled down the HP on a bunch of these, but you don't have enough Dragoons or Zealots to actually kill them. And now, suddenly, it's 146 to 178 supply. Flash's macro is insane. He's making 3 tanks at a time, 2 SCVs. Another science vessel. I mean, the fact that the science vessels die was nice. But my goodness, Flash is just in full control of this match right now. I'm sure that's probably what you expected when you clicked on this game, but man. I'm telling you, this is the difference. If you are a good Protoss player against a lesser Terran player, you don't let the tanks siege up here by your bases. You keep them at home. You keep them on the defensive, because when they start getting here, that's when the bad things happen. Still 3 tanks remaining. Dragoons are just falling left and right here. Another tank goes down. Goliath buffering a little bit. Zealot trying to get on up. Nope, there are vultures fighting those guys too. Arbiter shows up for Cloak. If you could cloak these guys on the high ground, it might be nice, but instead, just kind of whipping. Oh, another disruption web getting tossed down here. That's a strange thing to see. Dragoons are fighting, but they don't have the upgrades they need. 1-1 is not enough at the 20-minute mark of the game. These are +3 attack tanks. The upgrade advantage is super going to Flash right now. He's pushing up the right side, 153 to 122 supply, coming into the natural base while simultaneously taking out this 12 o'clock position. Taking this bottom expansion here too, expanding on the left. I mean, he's just expanding everywhere while pushing out. This is what makes Flash Flash. He's really passive for a while here, and then when he pushes out, he wrecks you while expanding 4 times on the back of it. And then before you know it, it's 141 and 96 supply. EMP's been tossed down on your Arbiter. Sure, you can stasis these tanks, but if you don't have any Dragoons to finish them off, does it really matter? They do take down a Science Vessel, which is nice. Some Zealots are coming on in. Vulture's hanging with them because that +3 attack is insanely good. Another Disruption Web. Dragoons trying to fight, but too many tanks spread out too far. 2 Disruption Web all of them, and that's your good game. Legend taps out, and Flash is your winner in 20 minutes and 38 seconds. That is what we're talking about. Oh my gosh. Oh, what a match. What a match, to be sure, between these two players. The Disruption Web is tried, ladies and gentlemen. Officially tried here on the channel today. Didn't work. Didn't work against Flash. Not to say it wouldn't work against another lesser Terran player, because, I don't know, maybe it would. But boy, for now, and boy howdy, not enough. That engagement on the left side, it was good. It was good for Legend, but too many tanks coming up the bottom here, sieged up, and the Dragoons on the right side all got wiped out. Just the tanks were not bunched enough for this to work. Flash, once you recognize that was what was being used, he did a pretty good job spreading out his tanks in most situations. So Disruption Web could kill maybe or shut down 1 or 2 of them, but there were always going to be more available here. So 11 kills on that 2-3 tank, looking incredible. And yeah, it's just that's the Flash maneuver, guys. It's get 3 bases up, defend a whole bunch, and then push out. And while you're pushing, win every engagement on the way, expand several times. Wipe out Protoss bases while you're doing that. And look, he's even expanding in the top left here too. He's just absolutely absorbing fighting spirit here under whatever he's got going on. So, fantastic job by Flash getting the win with standard mech maneuvers. This has been going on for a very long time, you guys. This is 2010. This was being used by Flash and still very effective today. All right, final score brought to you by a Hydralisk with a flashlight. Total score, 146,000 for Flash, 138 for Legend. Units killed here, 234 by Legend, but almost double that produced overall by Flash, which means he could absorb those hits and keep on ticking. Units lost here, again, Flash losing more, but he produced more, so it's totally fine. Structures raised, 10 by Flash, none raised by Legend, that's a problem. And then resources, not bad, honestly, for Legend. Again, he had more bases. He mined more gas, barely. He mined more minerals, barely. And he spent more resources overall, barely. But when the tanks are getting 12 and 11 kills, they're doing splash damage on your Dragoons. You don't have enough Zealots to really make a difference there. The Vultures are wiping them out. And your Corsair Disruption Web play didn't really work out either. You can do this and still lose the game. All right, cool. Well, that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of Starcraft Brood War Remastered in the Carbot skin. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.